Hey guys, good morning. I just thought I'd do a little check-in from a job site out here on our property. For those that don't know, we have a little bit of land here in Oklahoma, and we've been debating for a while building some little camping, hunting cabins, whatever you want to call them, so we can take our kids hunting. Me and my brother, I've got 3 kids and he's got 1, and they really love to get out in the outside and camp a little bit, and I'm not as big a fan of tent camping as you'd think. But you can see this is all our property behind me here. Back up over there, if I can get my finger right, that's the barns and shops and everything up at the front of the property. That's about a half mile away from where I am now. That's where our boarding stable for horses and all is. There's ponds down here in this draw, big pond down here, more ponds down here, and then there's of course another pond up front. We've got 4 ponds, a couple of nice canyons and draws here with a lot of deer and rabbits and everything else, but mainly probably be camping in these. So show a little bit of what I'm up to. I really wanted to do a video on the HKC miter saw or HKC Festool saw today, but kind of see here how many batteries you need when you're working out in a canyon where there ain't no power at all. But anyway, thought I'd do a little talk on this HKC saw today. I'll walk down here, down this canyon, and then I'll show you guys what I'm getting set up to do down here. That's my brother's just getting here in his truck. He came through the gate behind me just then. But here's a little peek behind me. We're building hunting cabins. Yeah, buddy. LP Smart Side. And here's my little setup right here. All right, let's get to it. All right, this is the part where I'm gonna show you the HKC working. We're out here in a canyon in the back of the farm, so building a house, little hunting cabin. And anyway, this is the FSK55 rail. I went with the short rail with mine because I needed it to actually operate for cutting, you know, up to 2x6s, things like that, for fencing. And for this type of deal, a lot of times I don't bring the miter saw out here at all. Of course, the battery miter saw helps a lot, but for doing framing on the spot, this works well. Here is the HKC55 Festool saw. This actually will function as a plunge saw as well. So if you want, you can press a button here and this will actually swing up like that. So if you want to plunge with it on a rail, and it does work on all the Festool rails. It has the proper guides, the green adjustment deals, and you can, all you do, the guard actually has a deal you can just push right here in the front as you're pushing the trigger, and you can swing that guard back out of the way. It even has the riving knife that rides in the cut on the plywood too, so you don't have binding when you're cutting. Kind of nice that, you know, I don't know much of anybody else that does that, but I like that, especially cutting plywood by myself out here in the field. Keeps it a little safer. So when you get ready to plunge, you can just press down and it will go all the way down and then snap into place. It's not like, you know, the TS75, the TS55, where you plunge and then when you get to the end, you can actually just bring everything back up. You can here too, you just be pushing that little button right there and it'll pop back up where you have it there. But it's not made to replace a track saw, but it will function as one if you need it to. Obviously, I'm running a lot more aggressive blade. I've got a Panther ripping blade on here, but these are absolutely magic for ripping plywood and things like that. They add a lot of power to a situation where you could get bogged down with your tool a little easier. It will fit all the dust extractors, but when I'm out here, I just run this dust bag on it. It unzips to dump, and it's actually about full now, but it does okay. It'll catch quite a bit. I'll go ahead and show you here. I've made a few cuts already. You just unzip this back end and you can dump it right out. But yeah, it probably had a pound in there. Pretty good, but works pretty well. It doesn't just push on like a lot of bags and stuff do. This one, it'll go on from, say, right there, and you give it a little twist into position. Well, if I can do it while I'm trying to hold everything where you can see it. It goes on here. Once I get it in position, if I can on the camera, yikes. Then you just give it a twist and it'll actually lock on. You don't have to worry about that coming off. And you can put this bag in any position you like. And it's got a heavy wire frame in it, so it's collapsible when you want to put it up in your vehicle like that. When you take it off, you can store it flat in the sustainer with the saw. But that's pretty much it there. I leave it plunged. It'll lock right there in the plunge position. It does have your normal, if you want to adjust your angles, you just turn here and you can tilt the base just like any other saw. And I believe on those measurements, 0 to, looks like 50 degrees. It'll tilt up to 50 degrees. So all I've ever needed in the field, really. But I am running the Airstream batteries, so I can recharge them in just, you know, a few minutes for a 5 amp hour, pretty good. But has a fast fix blade change. You can just pull this down, lock it, and then it'll lock the blade, and you can go right ahead and spin it off with the included Allen wrench in the back end. This is just an unbelievably nice feature. It's right here where you can hit it with your thumb that's holding the front handle, and you can flip that guide right back out of your way. So if you're going to make a cut, there's no more trying to pin it back or anything. You can just literally just hold it right there and do your plunge cut in the open, whatever you need to do. Okay, then part time, the FSK rail's handy. So with this just slides right on the saw. So you slide it in the guides, and once it's on, it's part of the saw. It clicks right onto it, and you have to push it forward and push this little release back here in the back, and you can take the guide back off. But for the purpose of this, we'll go ahead and put it on. Up the side of this rail, unlike the other rails, you have your degrees of angle from 0 back to 60 and from 0 to 45. And this adjusts this green stop here on the bottom. So if you want, all you have to do, release that, it locks in place, and then get it, oh, if I can do it out here. All right, slider to 15. It has positive stops at 0, 15, 30, and 45 in, I believe, both directions. Yeah. So it just depends on how you want your 45 cut to be. Most of the time for me, I like mine, I believe, here. We're gonna make a quick cut with this out here, even though my miter saw's here. We're making some braces for the inside corners, so they have 45s on each end. So if I want to cut another 45, I'm set up right there to cut at 45. That's actually not the 45 that I need though. So we're going to release that. We're going to slide it all the way back to our reverse 45. If I can get my righty-tighty, lefty-loosey down. Anyway, we want a left and a right 45 on these braces to get them right. But right here, and the track is spring-loaded, so it pops right back out front, ready to cut again. And we've made another leg brace for the cabin. Pretty quick that way. So let's cut a couple more real fast. We already have that angle cut. So let's see, how are we set up? Right here. Yeah, so as long as you can get the stop on this left side of the track and the stop on the right side to fit on the piece you're cutting, you're good to go, and you're cutting. See the track shoot right back out front, and we have another board made. So now I have two more leg braces. For building things like stair stringers, stuff like that, this is an amazing saw, is you can just hit your 45s and just get it in there. And obviously all your other framing angles too are saved on here as well. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about this saw for a few minutes. This is kind of the perfect use for this. We're in the middle of nowhere. The nearest electricity is a half a mile from this job site. And we're building several of these out here. These are ours, but it would, in the future, we may be building these for other people as well. But this type of saw for building sheds, building outdoor places is amazing. You can take this up into the rafters with you to build, and you have all your miter saw capabilities pretty much for framing lumber right up there with you. There's no climbing down, having somebody run to the miter saw. You have this right there. Just make your rafters, all of that. It's great. Okay, let's take a quick look at the cabin if you haven't already got bored and took off. But that's the miter saw, or the little HKC saw. It comes with that little Festool bag too, really nice padded bag and whatnot. But here we are out in the middle of a canyon. Isn't that beautiful? Got a nice 55-yard range right over there to the other side of the canyon walls. And here's this. We did a pretty good pitch on this one because I did not want it to look like a shed. Okay, well, I got distracted where the video ended a minute ago, and this is at the end of today. We've got another, right at 7 hours in this today. We got the zip system on the roof. We put LP Smart Side on the sides, and I'll go ahead and just walk around this, show you how it came out. Corners are going to get 1x trim. We did 2 matching windows, 1 on each end, and then the front here overlooking the canyon is going to have 2 matching windows also. And we got the loft inside too. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. But here's the other end, and here's the view out the front of this. The sun's setting now. It's almost to get dark on us, but this is what you're overlooking. And this is our land on both sides of the fence. We own it another, 1/8 of a mile, 1/4 mile that direction as well. But walk around this, yeah. These are concreted in now. Got the braces on the walls of it. There's the old trusty truck. And we're down in this canyon about, maybe a 15-foot drop or so down here to the house. So you can barely see the peak of the cabin when you're up on top. But there's our zip system roof. Pretty good. And right here, we got to cut out the bottom plate, and I'm building a set of stairs to go right here going in. And here we are looking inside. Everything built on 16 centers. I don't want to build anything like Lowe's does. So no 2-foot centers around here. See if I can step up on this little deal. And this is the loft. And this is all going to be insulated completely. Got to add a few studs there in the peak. And that's a full 4x8 loft. So that's going to be a bed for a couple kiddos. Going to have a rail here on the front, little walk-up ladder down the side. And down below, I'm going to be building slide down windows here in the front that'll slide a piece of LP up over this so they can seal off. And then there'll be plexiglass on the inside that can also be lifted up and fastened. Same way on the ends. But this is from the inside here. We went ahead and did all our blocking in our corners, so we're ready to put the walls in. Gonna do all cedar walls in here, I believe. That's the current plan anyway. There's how we did our ridge posts and everything notched in. But this is the view from the cabin. We're going to put a bed right here along this wall, maybe even a double bed, and that way you'll have a double bed down below and a bed up top. All this finished in cedar walls. Over here behind the door will be a little bar top with some cabinets or shelves, one or the other, so we can have coffee maker and a stove right back here, a propane stove, and coffee maker and everything. Whole thing's going to be wired, and it's going to run off of a DeWalt inverter. The 2,000 watt 20 volt inverter that they have holds 4 DeWalt batteries. You saw it in the video earlier that I posted. It's the thumbnail of the one about the holiday gift giving thing. But anyway, tongue and groove flooring and set on 2x6 frame underneath with blocking all through, so solid. Anyway, just figured you guys might want to check that out. We built some real solid eaves here too. Did 2x4 fascia board. Didn't want any flex in that. I don't like that when it does. But I'm heading out, so I'm just going to walk up the hill and you can kind of get a shot of what it looks like in a finished way. But Thinking maybe picking up some cedar shake shingles for the roof, but that's still kind of up in the air. I'd like it to be a real neat cabin look, if possible. And I think that would do it. Sheet metal would be okay, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll be here in the morning to get it all cleaned up, but oh, and there goes the Air Force Base. Vance Air Force Base is right over that direction, a couple of miles. But here's the view of our place out here. It says in the evening after we got done. Anyway, good to show you guys this. Hopefully I can show you a little bit more of doing it, but kind of wanted to show off that HKC saw. We used it to build all this stuff. So pretty good. Thanks for being here, and don't forget to like and subscribe and give me a comment, or add me on Facebook or something and show me some pictures of something like this that maybe you've done for hunting cabin or whatever. But hopefully it comes out pretty good. We'll catch you guys on the next one.